And welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to do a cute nutcracker with watercolor today. If we don't know each other, I'm Viv with Art with Viv, and let's just jump right on into it. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little yellow, going to get a little pink, a little rose color. Mix it up, going to make him some skin tone. That's right, that's what we're doing. We are just mixing up a nice little skin tone. And there is my dove, he's chiming in too. And I'm going to paint all over his face, right over his eyebrows, right over his mustache. The only thing I'm not going to paint over are his eyes. We want to leave those white because we're going to come back and paint those in. Going to paint his little hands, that same flesh color. We're going to let that dry and go work on a different section. I've got a little bit of lamp black on my palette, so I'm going to go ahead and just paint in that hat, the top part of his hat. And I'm doing that with a pretty diluted black, lamp black, so it's more of a gray. And then I'm just going to go around the edges with a more concentrated black. That just means that I have more paint and less water. Then I am going to lift up some of that paint in the middle so that it'll have a nice highlight right down the center, and that makes it have a little bit of form. So we're going to take that same black and work on his boots, and we're just going to paint those in. I'm not getting too toothy with those, too frou-frou with them. We're just painting in his boots. And on the toe part, I am just taking some water and blending that black out so that it's a little bit lighter in the center of that toe portion, so it looks a little more rounded. So I'm outlining it first, and then with some of the black paint, and then I'm just dipping my brush into some water and just blending that out with some clean water so that it's lighter in the center. And I've lifted a little bit up. So we don't know, this nutcracker, he is not looking too happy. He's looking a little like he's very serious. This is a very serious nutcracker. I don't know who he's guarding. I don't know what he's guarding, but he's serious about what he's guarding. That's all I know. So I've gotten some vermilion, and I went down each side of his arm, of his sleeve, with a concentrated vermilion. Then I'm dipping my brush in water and going right in between those two stripes and blending them together, making sure that they're lighter in the center. Again, gives it a little bit of dimension. It's darker on the edges, lighter in the center. Just gives it a little bit more. Then we're going to do the bottom part of his uniform in the same vermilion hue. We're going to do the same thing, darker around the edges with that more concentrated paint, and then we are going to dip into some water and just blend it out. There you go. And we are also going to lift a little bit of it right in the center. Just pick up a little bit of that paint so that more of the white paper shines through. We're going to do the top part. We are painting over those designs that are on his top part of his uniform, but we are painting around his little beard. He's got a little white beard, and he also has a sash, so we're painting around that sash with the red. So just be careful with those. And in some of those areas I just picked up a little bit of that red so that it'd give it some dimension. Now, what shall we do next? We're trying not to wipe our hands through. Let's paint his eyebrows in. I'm going in there and just painting his little eyebrows with the same black that I used for his hat and his boots. And now I'm going to do his mouth. His mouth looks fierce, so I'm painting around his teeth. The teeth, I'm just letting the white of the paper, just letting the paper stay white. So that's going to be his teeth. I'm going to paint in his eyes. I'm painting those blue. I'm leaving a little bit of the white of the paper to shine through for a highlight. Now I'm getting my metallic gold, and I am going to paint in the brim of his cap here. I don't know what these hats are called, but we're going to paint that in with a nice gold color. And that's metallic watercolor. I'll link it below in case you're interested in what kind of metallic. I really like this metallic watercolor. It's very creamy and rich and smooth. Now we're just going to paint his little mustache with that same black. Make sure that his face, the flesh tone is dried before you do this, or you will get a bleed. And I'm going to give him some eyelashes with that black. Paint a little shadow under his little round nose with some more of that flesh color, a little bit darker that we mixed up. And around under his hat, give it a shadow around his little cheeks and under his nose. So we got that, and then I'm just taking the brush and blending it out. Blending it. Now I'm just going to take that same metallic gold watercolor and do the shoulder parts and his collar with it. We're just doing a simple little nutcracker. This would make a great gift tag or something like that. For me, I like to do these little small quick paintings on Mondays. Gets my juices flowing, gets me ready for the week, gets all my creativity started. So I just like to do these little mini paintings on Monday just to get me started. And it's not too detailed. And it's just right. So now I am still working with my metallic, and I'm putting the designs on the front. I went ahead and put the front part of his boots on with that metallic gold. And now there's the little button designs on the front part. I guess those are buttons. We can go ahead and put those in with the metallic gold. And I'm darkening up this one boot. It just didn't have enough on there to suit me. And I think I'm gonna make his sash green. And my dove, he is in rare form today. He is just talking. I just put a little black pupil in his eye with some of the black and maybe a little under eyelashes. Some shadows on his hands with that same flesh tone. Then I've got just a little bit of blue here, and we're going to add some shadows. His pants are white. He's got white cuffs on his shirt, and he also has a white belt on. So we're just going to add some shadows with that really, really pale watery blue, just like so. There you go. And then just blend it out with some clean water. Just put the blue concentrated on the edges and then just blend it out with clean water. Now what are we going to do next? Probably need to do something with his hair and with his beard. Well, I went and got a little bit of a darker shade of the metallic, and I'm just adding some shadow into those metallic areas to give those some interest so that they don't look so flat. And then we will probably go and work on that beard and his hair. So I am just taking some white gouache, just painting it over the beard area and making it look a little, furry, fuzzy. And also on his hair, he's got long hair on each side of his head, and it's all just wild. And I've also added some blue in that hair just to give it some shadows, a few little blue strokes, some white gouache for his highlights in his uniform, and I decided to go over those metallic buttonholes with the white, a little bit over his boots, and there you go. You got a cute little nutcracker. Thanks for watching, and have a Merry Christmas.